Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Ava Gomez claims a family friend asked her to watch her 2 kids while she was on vacation, but wasn't paid as agreed. Lisa Ma says Ms. Gomez went on a spending spree with her credit card, so she owes her nothing.
I see Ms. Ava Gomez here as my plaintiff, Lisa Ma as the defendant. Ms. Gomez, you are suing for $500, alleging that the defendant owes you money for unpaid child care. Tell us why we're in court today.
Your Honor, I'm here today because I am suing Lisa for not paying me for babysitting her children. Lisa offered to pay me $500 to babysit her children, and I typically watch her children for free. And that's only for a day or 2.
Right.
And this time it's for a week. While she's on vacation in Maui with a man that she's only been dating for a few months.
Okay, that's not your business, Ms. Gomez. She's on vacation for a week, while normally you do this for free because it's a day or 2. Obviously, she's going to pay you because it's a week-long supervision of her children.
Exactly, Your
And
Honor.
how many children and what are their ages?
She has 2 children. They are 8 and 9 years old.
Okay. And you say, great, $500 was a good fee?
Yes.
Okay.
So I said yes to that. Per usual, she offered me her credit card, and she never gave me any limit to it. So her children were on spring break, and I wanted them to have fun. So I took them out to the movies, restaurants, and then a water park. They had a great time.
Your Honor, can I clarify something?
I'm going to give you this opportunity one time, Ms. Ma. What do you need to clarify?
Thank you. When I pass Ava my card, because I trust her without giving her any restrictions. Previously, she also had my credit card, and she never spent more than $30 a day. And this time, she charged it $620 over 7 days. And when I passed her the card, I did tell her that you can spend it on whatever my kids need.
You said kids need?
Yes. And before I go on to my trip, I stock up my 2 large refrigerators. I went to 3 grocery stores, bought all the frozen food, fruits and veggie, plus some quick and easy meal for Ava, because I know she loves to cook pasta. So I really make sure I have everything ready. I even checked with her. She said, yeah, that's good enough. So this time I was really confused and frustrated that she charged my card $620 without even asking for permission. Previously, she's always so polite. Even last time, she charged it like $30 for Chinese takeout.
Right.
She sent me a text and kindly asked me, oh, can I spend on this? I was like, go ahead.
Yeah, but you didn't get any texts while you were in Maui with your new man.
The only text I got was a picture of her, took my 2 daughters out for a movie.
Having fun, right, but you didn't get any financial updates.
No.
So you were quite surprised when you got your credit card bill.
I was very shocked and confused in the beginning.
Yeah.
And when I confronted her, she was like, oh, I didn't want to bother you when you're on your vacation.
Your Honor, may I interrupt?
No, I don't want any more interruptions from either of you. What I would like is for both of you to give my bailiff any evidence. Y'all are talking about receipts and credit card bills. Please offer your evidence to my bailiff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Plaintiff's on the top.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so let's see, Ms. Gomez, you are providing a text message. Hey, could you watch the kids when they're on break? I'll give you $500 this time for helping me out, acknowledging that this is the first time you've actually paid her cash to watch the children. You say, sounds great, I'm in. Okay, so that's undisputed. Let's see what Ms. Ma is offering up. Yes, this is what I expected, a credit card bill. This is exorbitant. I can tell the court right now, seafood, $56, movie theater, $50. Water park, $50. The steak place, $50. You said these kids are 8 and what?
8 and
9
9.
years old, and they don't eat steak.
No,
Your Honor-
apparently they do, Miss Ma. Okay, so you said, breaking news. Yeah, they can tear up a ribeye. Okay, so you said 9 and how old?
8 and 9
8
years
and 9.
old.
Okay. House of Wax. Look, I guess some type of Chinese. A more movie. How many movies did y'all see? It looks like y'all went to the movies every day. Y'all went to the movies 4 times?
We did, yes.
And I have Netflix at home.
Okay, hold on, Miss Ma. Okay, Joe's Cantina, Bill's Burger, ma'am. So you were really spending on average $100 a day.
Yes, I was. But Your Honor, again, she was on vacation. I did update her with pictures of where we were at.
So they had the time of their lives. But your point is it was on your expense that you did not authorize. Is that your issue?
Correct. She didn't ask for my permission. I never asked her to do that. And my 2 girls are very low maintenance. One
No,
girl,
ma'am, not anymore.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, not anymore.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
It is a lot of money, Ms. Gomez, and you can beat around the bush and say that you had full authorization, but the court is not convinced because that is an exorbitant amount of money for 2 children.
And later,
What do you say, young man, to her accusation that you and your frat buddies are constantly throwing loud, obscene parties and disturbing the peace?
I don't see anything wrong with a little bit of party.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Eva Gomez, who brought Lisa Ma to court for cheating her out of babysitting fees.
Do you think this was exorbitant spending?
I didn't think so.
So reconcile for me why every occasion you watched this woman's children before this week, it was $30 here, $30 there, with permission that you received on the front end, and then we went from no authorization, no permission, to $620.
Well, she gave me her credit card. She didn't give me a specific amount of how much I could spend.
No, but you're 20 years old, right?
I am, yes.
And you're a nursing student.
Yes.
So that means I'm to assume that you have reasonable skills of deduction and understanding.
Yes.
Okay, so you understand there is something between $30 and $620.
Yes, Your Honor.
You see there's a gap there in terms of expectation financially?
Yes.
So if you're used to my babysitter spends about $30 here or there to $620, you understand why this woman is surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot of money, Ms. Gomez, and you can beat around the bush and say that you had full authorization, but the court is not convinced because that is an exorbitant amount of money for 2 children. And I really do need you to contend with that. Ms. Ma, but what about the argument that if you cared so much what was being spent, why didn't you leave a limit?
Because I really trust her based on her previous behavior. And I've known her for so many years. I watched her growing up.
So this was shocking to you. When you got this bill,
Very shocking, and I honestly feel it's like a violation of trust.
did you call her upset or text her? How did you communicate
She
your
was there.
upsetness?
Yes, great question. She was there. I confronted her. Okay, thanks for taking care of my daughter. I'm not gonna pay you additional $500.
So you
I think
told her that to her
even.
face?
I told her to the face.
And what did you think about that?
I was upset because I'm spending my week watching her children, and I'm in nursing school, and the amount of studying I have to do, I had to put aside to watch her children.
What did you think would be reasonable? When you did pull up your credit card statement for the month, you did know that there would be some charges associated with the week that she cared for your 2 girls, right? What did you expect that number to be?
Below $300. She used to spend less than $30 a day. I understand it's spring break, they may want to go for a movie. But my daughters never asked to go for a water park or a
Right.
steakhouse. All these are new for them. That's why they're so excited. And
I agree with you.
I'm concerned. I'm a mother of 2. It's hard to raise 2 daughters by myself.
Oh, you're a single mom.
Yes, I'm single mom.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil them in this way.
Right. No, I agree. I've heard enough, ladies. I am ready to rule. So I've already told you, Ms. Gomez, that, listen, I think you're a fine young lady. I appreciate that you are getting your education, particularly in nursing. It's an excellent field. You should be well paid when you get out of it. Speaking of payment, you're not going to get $500 from this court today, and I'm going to tell you why. While I can appreciate that you were not given a specific articulated limit on Miss Ma's credit card to spend for this week of caring for her children, there is such thing as pattern, usage, and behavior. Okay? And you had already established a spending pattern with this woman. This is supposed to be a loving, trusting, reciprocal relationship. And you violated that love and trust, Ms. Gomez, by running this woman's credit card bill up $600 some. You have a reasonable duty of cautious care and exercise with her credit card as you would be using it with your own money. And I'm not really convinced that you would spend $620 for 1 week on 2 children. And if you were to do that, the court would find that foolish. I'm just going to be direct with you. Now, that said, there was some things you could have done to tighten in the spending ropes there, Miss Ma. You could have said, here's a card. She is 20. She's 20. She's still very, very much coming of her development when it comes to finances, spending, and adult decision making. Okay? So next time, despite the practices and patterns established, you might want to go ahead and be overly cautious, Miss Ma, and say, and this is the limit. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing it to her, call your credit card company. Tell them, once this gets over $600 for the next, or $300 rather over the next week, flag on the play, freeze the card, fraud alert, anything that we can do in this technological age that we live in that can make sure that our spending and money is safe. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to take your good faith word, Miss Ma, that you expected to spend around $300, no more. I'm going to deduct that from the $500 that you originally owed the plaintiff just for her babysitting services, and I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff for the amount of $200. That is my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $200.
Maybe you should keep your word next time and prioritize your children over a man.
I really hope that one day you realize maintaining a trust is more worthy than the money.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
So he didn't offer to help repair the damage or anything?
He did not.
Is that true, Mr. Michaels?
That is true. It's true that I told her to move her car and she just didn't take the opportunity to do it.
This is Equal Justice. Lori Smith claims her car was damaged after her neighbor took his rowdy parties too far. Austin Michaels says he spoke to all of his neighbors in advance so they could move their cars, but the plaintiff ignored him.
Ms. Smith, I see you're suing for $1,500. Tell us why we're in court today.
So, Your Honor, we are in court today because I am suing my completely disrespectful neighbor, Austin, because he has these unruly parties with his little frat boys, and they had this big destructive party out in their front yard, throwing these balloons filled with foam, which destroyed one side of my car.
Okay, and do you have any proof to the court, ma'am, as to the damages you're asking for?
I absolutely do.
Please proffer that up to my bailiff, ma'am. You can give him everything.
Sure.
Great, thank you. Let's take a look at this alleged damage here. Thank you, sir. Oh, my. Okay, let's see what we're all looking at here on the plasma. This is your SUV motor vehicle, ma'am, and I see exactly what you mean.
Yes.
This is a real eyesore here with this frosty kind of white residue.
It was some type of foam that got smashed, and I actually believe that it was deliberate.
So, I see where you did take it to a professional body shop here, and you did pay for $900 for the paint itself, and then the labor was another $600, totaling $1,500.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to you, Mr. Michaels. What do you say, young man, to her accusation that you and your frat buddies are constantly throwing loud, obscene parties and disturbing the peace?
I don't see anything wrong with a little bit of party once in a while, you know?
Coming up on Equal Justice.
What'd you say about that, Mr. Michaels?
I think since she's really the only neighbor that didn't move her car, there's probably something wrong with her.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Lori Smith, who blames her neighbor, Austin Michaels, for her car's ruined paint job.
So let's get to this particular party, Mr. Michaels. So you let her know, hey, I'm going to have some buddies over and we're going to have a party. And did she know there were going to be these balloons with foam or all this stuff in it?
So I walked around my neighborhood the day before the party with a flyer. I actually have it right here.
Oh, great. Go ahead and proffer that to my bailiff, sir. Let me take a look. Okay, thank you. Oh, Lord. Okay, hey, neighbors, just wanted to inform you that we will be throwing a birthday party on January 21st. It will involve throwing balloons filled with foam around the front yard around 2 p.m.
Yep.
We suggest that you move your car before that time. Thanks, and enjoy the freshly baked cookies from the store. Okay, so this was available to all the neighbors.
Yeah, I brought it to every single neighbor and I talked to them firsthand, and every other neighbor moved their car except for...
But you did speak to her?
I did speak to her, yes.
Okay, ma'am,
Yeah,
did he?
he asked, he gave me that flyer, yes.
And
but-
did you tell him at that point, I don't think so?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I told him, I'm not moving my car. Why should I be inconvenienced for you to have a party? Keep it in your yard.
Yeah. What'd you say about that, Mr. Michaels?
I think since she's really the only neighbor that didn't move her car, there's probably something wrong with her.
Mr. Michaels, you do admit, though, that this destruction to her car is a result of you and your homeboys throwing these water balloons?
Yes, but if I would have seen it on the car, then I would have washed it off.
Did you tell him at some point that your car was ruined?
So I did, but he was very callous about it.
Ooh.
Like, well, I told you you should have moved your car.
So he didn't offer to help repair the damage or anything?
He did not.
Is that true, Mr. Michaels?
That is true. It's true that I told her to move her car and she just didn't take the opportunity to do it.
Okay, so she didn't do that. So you think she deserved what she got, Mr. Michaels?
It's kind of her fault, I think.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
I understand, Mr. Michaels, that you are at the stage of life where it's all about fun and good times. But the other part of it is this. When you grow up and you pay these things called mortgages and car payments, insurance, bills, taxes, you do have a right to what we call quiet enjoyment of your property. And while everybody else has accommodated you, Mr. Michaels, she has no legal duty to do that. So while I can appreciate this little notice in the cookies, you had it right when you said suggest. You said, I suggest you move your car, because you are in no legal position, young man, to have legal authority to mandate or demand anything from this woman or anybody else in your neighborhood. Therefore, you were out of order. She had no responsibility or duty to you to move said car just because you asked with cookies. Therefore, the court will rule in complete favor of the plaintiff to the tune of $1,500. That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,500.
Now maybe you'll grow up a little.
I hope you learn to have fun one day, Lori.
I have plenty of fun.
You've had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me. We'll do ladies first.
Thank you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what Equal Justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Cheryl Collins claims she got stuck paying the bill after a first date snuck out mid-meal. Jason Sutton says he invited the plaintiff for drinks only, but she showed up late, then ignored him, so he bailed.
Good day. I see I've got Cheryl Collins here as my plaintiff and Jason Sutton as my defendant. Ms. Collins, I see you are suing Mr. Sutton for $218.69. Why are we in court today, ma'am?
Well, Your Honor, last May the 20th, Mr. Sutton here invited me out on a date and then proceeded to walk out on the tab.
This man asked you to go with him on a date and then he left before the bill came?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-oh. Tell me more. Let's start with, how did y'all meet? How do you know this man?
So I'm a social media influencer, and Mr. Sutton, the defendant, came on my page.
He slid into your DMs?
Yes, essentially. And we were discussing and we were talking for a couple weeks, and we were just chatting over the phone. And he originally asked me out on a couple dates, first one being coffee and the second one being ice cream.
So those dates took place?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I don't drink coffee, first off. And secondly, I'm lactose intolerant, so we did not do coffee, nor did we did ice cream.
So you declined those dates?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, continue, ma'am.
Well, after we had continued talking, he shortly after decided to ask me out on a date. And we decided on dinner Friday at 5:30. Unfortunately, our original timing did not quite work out with my schedule. I had to reschedule on him twice. First time being with work, I was on a fashion shoot, and my shoot lasted a little bit longer than I was anticipating.
That happens.
So,
because this is how you pay your bills, I assume, ma'am. You're a full-time influencer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I do think sometimes people hear that, Ms. Collins, and they can be dismissive. But the reality is, some of these social media influencers are making over $100,000 a year. So, and you're presenting very beautifully to the court today. So this is, something that's lucrative for you. So you do have to show up to these things.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so your shoot runs long. You have to reschedule.
Yes, that was the first one. Second, I ended up having to reschedule on him a second time because my father did fall ill, and he lives. Thank you.
Yeah.
He does live nearby, so I tend to go over there and take care of him every now and again.
Okay, so there's 2 reschedules. He's understanding, I suppose. And then how do you actually get on the date?
Well, eventually our schedules ended up working out, and we were able to make it on time.
Great.
So we scheduled for 5:30 on a Friday, and I was a little bit late.
How late, ma'am?
We scheduled for 5:30. I showed up at 6:15.
45 minutes late.
Mr. Sutton, I promise you I did not fail math. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, 45 minutes late, ma'am. That's not a little. Go ahead.
I got stuck in traffic.
Ma'am, come on, please, go ahead.
So I showed up at 6:15, and that was when our date proceeded.
And how was his energy when you showed up 45 minutes late? Because this is the first time y'all are seeing each other in person, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that doesn't make like a great impression. So to the extent he was excited to see and meet you finally, that might be compromised after 45 minutes of waiting on someone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, but you get there. How was it? Did he look like his pictures? Because that's very important.
Yeah, actually, he looked a little bit better than his pictures, to be
Okay.
honest. He's not very photogenic, but real life, doing pretty well.
Okay. Nice. No, I say that with sincerity because you're right. Most of the time, that's not the case. Continue, ma'am. Okay, so you see him in person. He looks better than his photos. What does he say to you?
Very, very small chit chat, just pleasantries in regards to when I show up. And I'm a little frantic because I know that I'm running late. So,
Were you apologetic, ma'am?
of course.
Okay.
Yes. So sitting down, the waiter originally comes over, and I go ahead and I order myself a margarita because they're my favorite. And I have not eaten all that day, so I'm starving. So I originally go ahead with my margarita, order a calamari as well.
Okay.
And
Did you ask him if he wanted anything to eat, ma'am? No, I'm just, because we're getting your order in, but.
Well, I assumed that he would have ordered something if he wanted anything.
So the answer is no.
No,
At this
I did
point,
not
you
ask.
just ordered your margarita and your calamari. Okay.
Yes, he
And that's
had a
just-
drink already.
Okay. Well, I would hope so if he was sitting there waiting for you for 65 minutes. That's my rule. Once you are 1 second late, the party starts, honey. Okay? It's drinks and food.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
By the time the waiter brings over the food and the margarita, she is on her phone. She's on social media. She's posting, and she starts acting like I'm not even there.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Cheryl Collins, who blames Jason Sutton for ghosting her mid-date.
And then do you proceed to order more food?
Yes.
Okay. What
Later
did you
on.
order, ma'am?
Well, after I finished the original appetizer, I went ahead and I ordered another drink. And
Also a margarita?
yes.
Because I just want a visual. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And I don't really like to drink on an empty stomach, so I not only had the calamari, but I also had the fried alligator was my second. Yeah, it was very interesting. And
Now, was that just still a starter, or have we gotten to your entree yet?
no, that was just the starter.
Okay, let's go. What did you get for your entree, ma'am?
I got a salmon.
Okay, so you had the calamari, you had the fried alligator, you've had 2 margaritas at this point, and now you've got a plate of salmon?
Yes.
Okay, and did you get any more cocktails?
I did get one more cocktail.
Okay, so you
with
had
my
3
dinner.
drinks. Okay. Do you have an itemized bill that the court can look at, ma'am, and see?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and proffer that to my bailiff.
just have everything,
I'll take
the entire
everything.
folder?
And while you are doing that, you know what they say about stories, there's 2 sides. Let me get to you, Mr. Sutton. Thank you for your patience here, sir. Let's get to what you can corroborate. You meet this woman on social media, she's very beautiful. You slide in her DMs, you start communicating.
Yes, Your Honor.
You find out that she's a social media influencer professionally, bada bing, bada boom, somebody's number is exchanged, y'all start talking on the phone.
Yes.
At what point, sir, do you decide, I am interested enough to take her on an in-person date?
Well, I was interested very early on. I asked her out 2 times. Both times she turned me down.
So then, after 2 cancellations, and did you believe those cancellations?
To be completely honest,
You better be, you're sworn in.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the first scenario, the modeling, I don't know much about it. I think she could have taken maybe 10 or 15 seconds just to send me something. She told me like 10 minutes before our date. I've already driven there. That was very upsetting to me.
Okay, you left that part out. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, and then as far as the second incident is
With her father's illness.
Yes, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt.
No,
and
I understand. The court agrees with that.
Yes.
Okay, so for finally,
Yes.
we get on a dinner date, and you concede, Mr. Sutton, that you did ask her on the 3rd date, and it was your idea to say, you know what? You don't like milk, you can't do lactose, you don't like coffee, let's go to dinner.
I said let's go to drinks, not dinner. I never said
See,
anything.
you got to clear it up. See, Mr. Sutton, because this is how I'm going to make my ruling. So you're telling the court that you said nothing about dinner. You said, let's go to drinks.
I said let's go to drinks.
Ms.
That's it.
Collins, did he say, let's go to drinks?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, continue, sir.
First, she reschedules twice, as we've mentioned, and then finally we lock in a date, and it's during happy hour.
I noticed that. I didn't want to say nothing.
5:30.
But when you said that y'all were meeting at 5:30, it's happy hour. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, and I made that explicit that I wanted to meet at happy
Oh,
hour.
you said that. Okay.
Yes.
And one thing I like about somebody that's direct is you know what to expect. So there's an indication when someone says, I want to take you out during happy hour, you know what time it is. Serious. Right? I mean, hello.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, sir. So you own that you are looking for a happy hour experience. Continue.
Yes, so I get there at 5:20, Your Honor, and I get a phone call from her at 5:25 saying she'll be a few minutes late.
Okay.
I interpreted few minutes as a few minutes. I guess
And
that
then
means
you
something else
found
to
out
her.
it was 45 minutes.
It was 45 minutes.
Right.
I ordered 1 margarita, and the waiter felt so bad for me, he slipped me another one at the happy hour price after 6 o'clock when that ended. She finally shows up at 6:15. I'm a little annoyed at this point,
I
but I'm
would
trying to
imagine.
keep it together.
Now, did she look like her photos?
She did. She was gorgeous.
Okay. No, she is.
Yeah. And she finally sits down, and the conversation
Was she
a little
apologetic when she showed up 45 minutes late, sir?
I mean, she mentioned it vaguely, but it was.
But you didn't really feel like it was heartfelt?
No,
Okay.
it felt very
I don't know
cold.
why, but for some reason I suspected that. Okay.
Yes.
So she sits down, she orders herself a drink.
Yes. Well, she orders herself more than a drink. She orders a calamari as well. We have a very, very brief conversation.
Well, let's back up.
Yes.
When she orders the cocktail and the calamari together, I presume.
Yes.
Were you surprised because your offer was drinks?
Of course, yes. I was very surprised. I wasn't hungry. I ate beforehand. We said we were meeting for drinks specifically, and I just didn't think she was going to be ordering food. And I don't eat fried food like that either, Your Honor.
Right. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The point is, as you said drinks, she starts ordering cuisine.
Exactly.
And you are shocked, but you don't say anything. You're just shocked. Now, at that point, because I'm just curious, were you contemplating the possibility that maybe there was going to be a split check at some point? Like maybe if she's hungry, she'll take care of her food, but allow you to treat her to cocktails because that was the nature of the agreed upon date?
I thought we were meeting up just for drinks,
Right.
and I thought she was going to maybe fit the bill for her, but what she did in the subsequent moments made me question the entire thing.
Okay, so yeah, what did she do then?
Well, by the time the waiter brings over the food and the margarita, she is on her phone. She's on social media. She's posting, and she starts acting like I'm not even there.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
She wasn't even done with the previous place before she starts ordering more food. And so she orders the salmon and the other drink, and I'm just fed up. I can't take it anymore. I'm seeing red. And I just decide I have to leave right now, else I'm going to make a big mistake.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Cheryl Collins, who blames Jason Sutton for ghosting her mid-date.
What do you say about that, Ms. Collins? Were you working on this date?
Well, I am going to be taking photos and I am taking videos. I'm with
That's
a handsome
working.
young man, and I mean, I suppose, yes, considering the fact that I am an influencer, it
Correct.
is working.
Okay, so you're working on the date. You now feel...
I usually don't bring my work to a date,
and
Your
let's
Honor,
get to
but
that, sir. What do you do for a living?
I am a substitute teacher.
Okay, what grades?
K through 12, I'm able to
Go
sub
everywhere you're certified?
Yes.
That's excellent, sir. Okay, so you work in education. You're now on a date. Your date shows up 45 minutes late. She immediately pulls out her phone and starts engaging and really working on the date.
Yes.
While she's ordered, so far, a calamari and a margarita.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And the waiter comes by again, and still ignoring me, and she orders her second round of drinks and a crispy alligator. Another top shelf margarita, by the way. I'm getting really fed up at this point, as I think any reasonable man would be.
Okay.
And the waiter is about to come around a third time, but I said, let's try to give this one more chance. And I try engaging in a conversation with her, and I asked her about her father. She just ignores me. She doesn't even engage in the conversation, which calls into question everything else that came before.
Okay. When did she order the salmon, sir?
She ordered the salmon at the end. That was the third time
Okay.
they came around. Yeah, so she wasn't even done with the previous place before she starts ordering more food. And so she orders the salmon and the other drink, and I'm just fed up. I can't take it anymore. I'm seeing red. And I just decide I have to leave right now, else I'm going to make a big mistake.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
What lie did you make up to get out of this horrible situation?
Yes, I told her I was going to the restroom, and I beeline for my car, and I didn't look back.
Closed captioning provided by... This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Cheryl Collins, who blames Jason Sutton for ghosting her mid-date.
What's a big mistake?
I felt like I would explode, Your Honor. I was just so angry and felt so disrespected.
Oh, well, okay. So how do you get out, literally? Like, how do you excuse yourself for the table?
Yes, Your Honor. I told her I was going to go to the restroom.
Right. Said another way, what lie did you make up to get out of this horrible situation?
Yes, I told her I was going to the restroom, and I beeline for my car, and I didn't look back.
Okay, so you never even went to the restroom?
No, I never went to the restroom. No.
Oh Ms. Collins, sir, do you have any evidence for the court?
I do, but I would just like to add,
Yeah.
the next day she did text me about this, and she said I was rude to fit her with a bill like that. And
She said you were rude.
she said I was rude. I told her she was rude to show 45 minutes late, and
Right.
she was rude to ignore me and lie to me.
Okay.
So I did pay for my drinks, though. I sent her that money digitally, and I have that here for you as well.
Yeah, offer that up to the court. Woo-wee. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a clown for disappearing on our, quote, date and not paying. This is from the plaintiff. Defendant says, I said I wanted to meet for drinks, that's in caps, not dinner. Madam plaintiff says, you're just full of it and cheap. Defendant says, just sent you $20 for my drinks. Go find another sucker. I ain't the one. I do see where there was a digital $20 sent. Ma'am, did you receive this money?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't think I have to hear any more from either of you two. I've seen this story before. The court is ready to rule. Now, nobody hates a cheap man more than me. Nobody.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
What this court will not condone is women or men coming into my courtroom under the guise of chivalry when what they're really doing is dating for dinner. Ma'am, you are dating for a meal. It's low integrity, it's anti-feminist, and for lack of a better term, it's trifling. Believe it or not, counterintuitive, you cheapen yourself. You cheapen yourself. You become a version of a type of prostitute. I'm just gonna tell it to you plain, and I don't believe that's what you intend. Now, if this is a man you are seeing, if this is a man you are dating actively, if this is a man who you've invested time and energy into as well, then your expectation should rise according to that mutual investment. And then, Mr. Sutton, you do have to put up or shut up. But at this point, the court is not convinced that you did anything wrong. In fact, the court is convinced, ma'am, that you operated in bad faith, that you wasted this man's time. So the court completely dismisses the plaintiff's claim of $218.69. That is my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I cannot believe that. You owe me the money.
Well, I definitely agree with the ruling of this court, and the greatest gift of all, though, is never having to see you again. So.
Okay. You've had your day in court. Please follow me. Ladies first.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Josephine Tyler claims her new neighbor was so noisy that she had no choice but to move out so she could get some peace. Carl Blunder says he tried to be a good neighbor, but all Miss Tyler did was complain.
Well, good afternoon. I see Josephine Tyler here as my plaintiff.
Yes.
Carl Blunder as the defendant. Mr. Blunder, I see you've got a witness with you, Mr. Jeffrey Reese. Okay, he's been sworn in, Elijah?
He has been sworn in, Your Honor.
Excellent. Okay, Ms. Tyler, it looks like you're suing for $4,800. You're saying that this man was your neighbor and he was too noisy and forced you to move. So tell us exactly why you're in court today.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I moved into a quiet neighborhood because I like quiet, and I had been teaching, but I lost my job during the pandemic. So I started an online teaching in my apartment. And everything was fine when until this Carl moved in, and then I had to move out. I mean,
Okay. So give me some more background here, Ms. Tyler. So how long had you lived in your apartment before the defendant moved in?
I lived there for 3 years, and I had a really nice neighbor, Barbara. She was elderly, but we were friends.
So that Barbara lived in this unit before Carl moved in?
Yes, it's a duplex. And she was so sweet and quiet. She would like knit and read, and she slept a lot, but we did favors for each other, so I really liked her.
So that was a good situation. And I noticed you said duplex, Ms. Tyler, so you two share a wall?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So it's really important that the neighbor is quiet.
Got it. And you're saying during the pandemic, as many of us had to pivot and figure out how to still have an income, you smartly chose to launch your educational offerings online?
Yeah, so I work from home.
Got it.
So now it's even more important
that you have quiet.
Exactly. So you get it. You really get it.
No,
Thank you.
yeah, I do. But tell me a bit about the types of noise you're saying that the defendant caused.
Well, if I could just say about Barbara,
we're gonna go back to Barbara. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what happened? Where's Barbara?
She
unfortunately,
passed on? Yeah, she.
Okay.
Yes, she passed away,
okay.
And I had to be there when my landlord found out about it. For me, it was really dramatic. And so that was.
Oh, this is the landlord. That's the witness. Okay,
Jeffrey,
that's what Mr. Reese is.
Yes.
Okay.
So. So that was like a whole change for me, losing Barbara and not having that friendship, that neighbor that I really cared about, and we lived well, like together in the duplex. It also was horrific to just, walk in there. I don't know. So I.
So you found the body? Is that what you're telling me?
I went in with. Yes, I had to.
No.
There was a smell. There was just.
Disgusting
smell, and I haven't heard from her.
So this is a really bad scenario. Okay, so may Miss Barbara rest in peace. She's gone on to glory.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sweet lady.
Okay, she's upset. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
And then.
And I am sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you. And so. I don't know, I was just dealing with that, and then within 2 weeks, he had the apartment ready to rent, and then Carl moved in, and my life was literally like turned upside down. Like, life as I knew it was over.
Was over. And tell me again, the types of, I want to understand, Ms. Tyler, what were you hearing that was so disruptive?
Okay, well, let me just say that I'm a reasonable person. You can see that, right? Like I'm.
Well, the jury's still out, but we'll find out.
Okay, but I'm, I try to be professional. I mean, when he moved in, I came over with a fruit basket. Just, I wanted to make a connection.
Neighborly thing to do.
Right, and he seemed kind of rude, kind of loud. And to my surprise, he had 2 large dogs. I mean, they're huge. And then a parrot, which was on his shoulder, which was squawking really, really loud. So I just basically mentioned that I work from home and I needed quiet, and he seemed to comply. It wasn't going to be a problem, and that's how the whole thing started.
Okay. Let me hear from the defendant here. Mr. Blunder, let me know, how accurate is this picture that the plaintiff is painting?
Well, let me start, Your Honor, by saying that I moved to Stamford from Upper Manhattan.
Okay.
And my apartment there was not satisfactory. It was very small, and for the rent that I was paying, it just wasn't a good...
New York City for you.
Right.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a good situation for me and my pets. In fact, for the bailiff, I have a few photos of them for you, Your Honor, just to see what we're talking about.
Thank you.
It's 2 two-year-old German Shepherds and then a 5-year-old blue and gold macaw.
Oh, beautiful. This is the parrot?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful bird. I see these 2 pups. Okay, but you said they're how old?
They're 2 years old now.
Okay, and how much do they weigh a piece?
Oh, gosh. Sometimes they feel like 50 pounds. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay,
I'm so
but
sorry.
they're not 5 pounds. Okay.
No. Coming up on Equal Justice.
Singing, trying to.
I'm just learning.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Josephine Tyler, who blames neighbor Carl Blunder for ruining her peace and quiet.
All right, and now I see that there's some emails in here for my review.
Yes. There are, in fact, some emails. These are the emails that I received from Josephine while I was living there, detailing the complaints that she had with me. I moved into the duplex.
Hold on, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you. I moved into the duplex after I'd come to help my cousin, Robert, move into Stanford's house.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with the place. It was the amount of space that I needed. It let me live in a nice city where I could still have a nightlife, but also there was enough space for my animals. It had a nice backyard, two-story duplex, everything I could want.
Okay, let me see these emails here. So this is from the plaintiff here. She says, "Hi, Carl. You've been making noise ever since you moved in here. I can hear you playing guitar, singing, your dog's barking, and parrot talking." Does the bird talk, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Ma'am, let me review the evidence. I will get back to you. Okay. I can hear your loud TV and your fire alarm going off. I am emailing you to ask if you could please keep the noise level to a minimum. I have lived here for many years and have not had any trouble with the other tenant. Thank you. Signed, Josephine Tyler. Now let's see your response. You say, "I am so sorry to hear that you're having a rough time. I leave the windows open for my pet so they can have fresh air. I'll stop the terrible singing and I won't play guitar after hours. Thank you." Did you adhere to that?
As best as I could, Your Honor.
Okay. Go. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. He didn't adhere to that. That's the problem. If he had, then maybe we could have.
Maybe we wouldn't be here today.
Maybe we wouldn't be.
Okay.
But
hours run reasonable.
I actually.
At this point, I want to hear from this witness. Sir, please approach. You said he was sworn in, Elijah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Jeffrey Reese, you are the landlord of this property?
That's correct, Your Honor. Jeffrey Reese, landlord, and also owner of the duplex.
That's what I wanted to get clear. Thank you, sir. So you actually own the property, and you are leasing to both of these tenants?
Yes, Your Honor. Formerly to Josephine and presently to Carl.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you say formally, the court is concluding that Ms. Josephine has moved out at this point?
Well, thank goodness she has moved on, Your Honor.
Okay. So I've got one question for you, Mr. Reese, and this is really the important one. Per the local ordinance around the decibel, were you guys coming in below or above the local ordinance?
Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and say we were right in the middle of the local ordinance. Neither one. Right in the middle, which to me is perfectly fine.
Reasonable. So you determined as the property owner, ma'am, you determined as the property owner that the decibel was reasonable?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Yes, I did.
I have one more question for you, and then I'm going to get to you, ma'am, Ms. Tyler. When you vetted, because as all property owners do, before we rent or lease our properties, which are investments, those are assets, American dream type thing, you've got to vet each tenant carefully, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when you met with Mr. Blunder here, you knew he had 2 dogs, you knew he had the parrot, you knew he played the guitar. Did you have any concerns around the quiet enjoyment of the other tenants' use of the property?
Not at all, Your Honor. That's a perfect point, and it is.
Well, I tend to make those. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Your Honor. And that tenant is in the lease to comply with all noise ordinances.
Correct.
Stated specifically.
Yeah, and you felt comfortable around that?
Yes, I did.
His ability to do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so now let's get back to you, Ms. Tyler.
Thank you, Your Honor. What he's saying is false. I mean, I actually have a noise log of everything that happened because it was that upsetting to me. His TV.
Go ahead and give that to my bailiff, ma'am, so the court can consider it.
And what he's saying about, I don't know what he's talking about, meter or something. I actually recorded the sounds because it was just so loud, day and night and day. There was no peace. Very impeccable with your recording skills here, Ms. Tyler. Not a woman to overlook the details, I see. Well, I mean, this is down to, no kidding. This is down to the minute and the second. Okay, so you said to me that you've got a recording? Yes, I submitted it to the bailiff here. Yeah, because we're kind of talking abstractly. I want to hear it. Okay. Singing, trying to.
I'm just learning.
Okay, well, now that was a little bit loud. That was a little bit loud there, Mr. Blunder. What do you have to say for yourself?
I will say, in the emails you have over there regarding the volume, I understand that some of those were very loud, and full credit. I also understand that she works as a teacher and that she needs
from home.
From home.
Right.
And I get it. The pandemic wreaked havoc on all of us.
Correct.
When she let me know that the volume wasn't up to her standards, I stopped.
So
That's
you're
not
saying,
true.
yep.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Point of clarification from the defendant. Are you telling the court that what we heard is representative of your volume originally, and you're saying that it was turned down after the email request from the plaintiff? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
These dogs are barking all day long, and the parrot, and the breaking point was the alarm going off for like 10 minutes straight, alarm going off.
Okay.
And I didn't know if the building was going to burn down. I just didn't know what to do, so I called the fire department.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Josephine Tyler, who blames neighbor Carl Blunder for ruining her peace and quiet.
Miss Tyler?
That's not true. That's false. He went to work, left the windows open so I could hear the
Well,
parrot.
you explain the windows open, ma'am. You can't expect the animals to be stuffed in a unit.
These dogs are barking all day long, and the parrot, and the breaking point was the alarm going off for like 10 minutes straight, alarm going off.
Okay.
And I didn't know if the building was going to burn down. I just didn't know what to do, so I called the fire department.
I was in the shower. I had to run out in my shower towel and deal with the fire department in front of the whole neighborhood. It was humiliating.
What? Yeah, I ran out there, and Carl was insulting me. Just totally insulting me, verbally attacking me.
Okay, hold on, ma'am. Let's easy with the dramatics. Okay, go ahead, sir.
She'd been harassing me forever. The entire time I'd been living there, even after I reconciled with her about the sound and I did my best to turn things down. Still, with the emails and the complaints and the logs and dealing with everything. And finally, after that fire department fiasco...
You lost your cool. Okay,
yes.
I got it. Okay. And I do see that the defendant's witness is nodding in agreement to the frequency of Ms. Tyler's complaint.
I'm in total agreement, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Ms. Tyler, let me get to this. At some point, you say, no more. I can't work like this. I can't live like this. You leave the unit.
I had to. I had no choice. I mean,
Tell me why you say you had no choice.
Because
you
it's
just
my
couldn't
serenity. It's my peace of mind. I wasn't sleeping at night.
Okay.
When I'm trying to teach, these sounds going off. He was making drilling.
So you broke your lease, ma'am?
I had to keep teaching, and I lost my deposit.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You did break the lease, ma'am.
I did, but I reached out to both of them, and I was back and forth to Jeffrey, to Carl, and it was back and forth, and neither one was helping.
No answer would have satisfied you.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Josephine Tyler, who blames neighbor Carl Blunder for ruining her peace and quiet.
That's what I was going to say. How do we get to $4,800?
Well, that was my deposit, which was 2 months rent.
Rent, okay.
So that's a lot of money for a teacher.
And where do you live now?
And I moved to the next town.
Oh, so you live in a whole new town?
Yeah, I didn't want to.
And do you like your new residence, ma'am?
I do.
It's comfortable?
I do,
It's
but
quiet?
I'm paying more than I wanted to. I would have loved to stay in the duplex.
Okay.
That was perfect for me.
Right.
And so I feel like he owes me that money because it's his fault that I moved.
I didn't affect that.
So you're saying that you had to pay $2,400 first month rent and deposit. That's standard. And let me get to you, Mr. Landlord, Mr. Reese here. You did not return that first month rent and deposit because she broke the lease early. Is that correct?
Respectfully, no way, Your Honor. No way I'm going to return that.
Right. Okay. How short was she on the lease, sir?
I don't recall exactly, but I did.
But it was before it was up.
Yes, ma'am. It was most definitely before it was up.
And you concede the point that you did break the lease, ma'am.
I did, but I reached out to both of them, and I was back and forth to Jeffrey, to Carl, and it was back and forth, and neither one was helping.
No answer would have satisfied you.
Mr. Blunder. So, Ms. Tyler, the defendant says he kept the noise quieter. You're disputing that. You're saying it was still as loud as we heard in court today, and that was indeed loud. And so you make the decision, as is your right as an adult, to break this lease, vacate the premises early, and find comfortable accommodations.
That's all I could do.
Okay, I think the court has heard enough, and I'm ready to make a ruling.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Mr. Blunder, I don't think I'd want to be your neighbor. Sounds like you got a lot going on. You got a bunch of animals. You got a parrot. You're playing the guitar. You're trying to learn how to sing. Sounds like it's a hot mess. But guess what? Because if your landlord, the actual owner of the property, finds your behavior reasonable, that is really the only controlling factor that the court must concern itself with. So the fact that you brought a witness in today that is both the owner of the property and the property manager, and this man is telling my courtroom that he finds your behavior reasonable, the court has to be consistent with that. So here's the thing, Ms. Tyler, I hear you. I appreciate your position. I understand being a business owner, being a woman who's trying to make it post-pandemic. I would not want to live next to this man either.
Thank you.
But this is where it's important to think about home ownership. Because when you own the property, you can exclusively dictate matters just like this. Noise ordinance, just the attire of, the aesthetic of the property, all of these things which would then be under your domain. But because you don't own the property, the court rules in favor of the defendant. I'm dismissing the plaintiff's claim. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is dismissed.
You need to grow up. That's what your problem is.
Get over it, Josephine.
No,
Just be a
you're
better...
just irresponsible.
Just relax for
you just
once.
did whatever you could in front of her to make yourself look good.
Okay, guys.
Really.
You've had your day in court. Please follow me.
Thanks, sir.
Ladies first.
Hot mess.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what Equal Justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Aaron Harris claims his parents broke into his home while he was out of town and illegally squatted for months. Lewis Harris III and Felicity Sanders say they were told if they ran into hard times, they could stay there.
I see I've got Aaron Harris here as my plaintiff today, and two defendants, Lewis Harris III and Miss Felicity Sanders. Mr. Harris, tell us why we're in court today.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, we're here today because unfortunately I have to sue my own parents for the financial damages they've caused by illegally squatting in my home.
Squatting in your home?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not something you hear every day. Okay, so these are your parents. Tell me more. How were they able to squat?
Yes, well, it belongs to my grandfather, and he sold it to me for 1/3 of the cost because he was a very loving grandfather to me, which my parents were not. I own the home now because of that, and he retired in Arizona.
So your grandfather, in the spirit of generational wealth and passing that forward, sold you his home at a deep market discount, so now you own the home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any offering of proof to show the court around that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I have some evidence.
Okay, go ahead and give everything to my bailiff, Elijah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'll review this momentarily. Okay, so you own this house You said some pretty strong words there, Mr. Harris. You said that these are your parents. They are responsible for you being in the world, and yet you said that they weren't loving towards you.
Well, see, unfortunately, as a kid, my parents I would not call were loving parents. No love was lost here all these years because in the beginning there wasn't much love given. As a kid, I was not really celebrated for my birthdays. I wasn't really bought much as a kid other than just having a roof over my head, having food, you know, everything on the table, which is something I'm grateful for.
Well, yeah, those are the necessities.
Right.
Were you told I love you? Were you hugged? Were you adored?
That wasn't really something I got. No, I would always see my friends getting that, which really bothered me as a kid, and I wouldn't really get those things, no.
And so you got those affection from your grandfather?
Yes, my grandfather, I confided in him throughout my childhood, and he really seemed to show me the kind of love I really wish I received from my parents.
Okay, before we go further with the facts, I have to let you all respond to that. Those are some very severe accusations, Mr. Harris and Ms. Sanders.
Your Honor, we were very young when we got pregnant with Aaron.
What's very young?
18, 19. We were young. We were just out of school. We had just fallen in love. We were just getting married.
Okay.
We got pregnant. We decided to have Aaron and do the right thing.
Yes.
I feel like did what I was supposed to do for the 18 years for my son.
Yes,
We
we both
supported
did,
him.
yes.
We kept the roof over his head.
The bare minimum.
Okay, so he acknowledged that you did provide life necessities, food, shelter.
Yes.
But what about the nurturing aspect? And I'll start with you, Mr. Harris, because I don't want to show gender favoritism here. As his father, you also are responsible for the nurturing aspect of parenting, right?
You know, I thought I did the best I could. I own an electronics shop, and we were running this for 20 years, and that took most of my attention and energy. He kept comparing his life to his friends' lives with parents that were far more well off. It put a lot of pressure on us
To earn. What do you have to say about it, Ms. Sanders?
I felt that we had,
Did you tell your son you loved him, Ms. Sanders, when he was growing up?
I believe that I did.
Mr. Harris?
I heard quite the opposite. I think I heard at one point that I wasn't even planned.
Wait a minute, defendants. Explain.
Well, when I was a kid, I had heard multiple times in different, emotional outbursts that I wasn't even planned. I was an accident. We weren't supposed to have you. So.
Okay, I want you to pause right there, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris and Ms. Sanders, tell me that's not true.
We believed that we were taking care of him.
Did your son get an indication from you two that his being here was a mistake?
We were honest with him growing up.
That's a yes. So that's a yes.
Well, we told him from the beginning that...
Mr. Harris, that's yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a yes. Okay. I'm very triggered, to be candid with you. I grew up with a single, impoverished young mother myself, but she did me the good favor of never letting me feel the scarcity and the stress and the trauma that she was experiencing while I had what should have been, sir, your luxury of an innocent childhood. Continue with this house and why you are suing them today, Mr. Harris.
I rent out a room in my home to make additional income.
Of course, smart.
Yes, I have a job with a tech company as well that I've gotten over the years of working very hard in my life without my parents' help. That I have now been able to add some income in my life with short-term rentals. Right.
Okay.
So with that being said, this is the room, this was the second bedroom that they had ended up squatting in, which resulted in me losing about $10,000, if not over $10,000 in the potential income that I could have gotten from renting out.
It was my childhood bedroom.
Which you don't own anymore.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You two decide that it's cute to come back to the house that used to belong to your father, and you're still talking about a childhood bedroom. Sir, how old are you today?
I'm 45, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're very much a grown man.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Aaron Harris, who brought his parents, Lewis Harris III and Felicity Sanders, to court after they illegally squatted.
Okay, so hold on here, Mr. Harris, defendant. You're telling me, Mr. Aaron Harris, that you were at work, you come home in this secondary bedroom, which you use as rental income. I'm seeing some of this evidence here. I'm seeing a day rate of $80, this, that, and the third. Subtotal, so I see. So you're earning about $2,619 a month on this bedroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's very good income, sir. And I'm sure you use this to support your life.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're losing out on this because you two decide that it's cute to come back to your former, the house that used to belong to your father. This was your father's house, Mr. Harris?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're still talking about a childhood bedroom. Sir, how old are you today?
I'm 45, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're very much a grown man, right?
Correct.
Okay, so then a childhood bedroom would not apply to you, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, but my father had offered me my entire life, if we ever run into trouble, to come back to the house.
We were always welcome.
We were always welcome.
And you
there.
heard that too, Mr.
I heard that, yes.
Okay.
So-
Well, it sounds like then the issue might be that Grandpa Harris might need to be here today because he inadvertently, to your point, sold that property, and that promise does not transfer with him. Okay, so you guys are in the secondary bedroom, and how long are you staying there?
Your Honor, we didn't even know my father had sold the property to my son. My son and my father had cut us off as soon as he was 18 and he left home.
Did they cut you off, or did you cut them off?
He cut us off.
Okay, so y'all have been estranged for how long?
5 years?
Okay, 5 years. Y'all all agree on that. Wow. This is very, very sad, right?
Absolutely.
My goodness, the heartbreak is just palpable. Okay, 5 years of estrangement. You go back to your dad's house. I assume what, you're on hard times?
Yes, Your Honor, our business had failed. We had to sell everything, sell all of our business, and I thought my father's house was open.
Well, it was
But
always...
you had no reason to believe otherwise, I'm hearing?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you go back, you're in the secondary bedroom.
Well, real
Then
quick,
what
Your Honor,
happened?
we got back there was nobody there.
No.
We didn't know where my father
The
was.
key is
We
still
didn't.
in the same place.
The hide key, we found the hide key.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hidden key.
Yeah, well, my father had left.
Okay.
And we went into the house, and the house was not in good shape.
No.
When Aaron says he's
No.
using this house as a rental property, that's kind of shocking to us.
Yeah, I spruced it up when I got in there. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks way better now.
He's, how old are you, Mr. Harris?
I'm 24.
Okay, so this is a young ma'am. You know, so this is, I can imagine, it probably looked a little bit like Animal House, right? You know, this is essentially a young bachelor's pad, probably half frat house, half bachelor's pad. So I would imagine that, I imagine you're right. I imagine it was not up to the standard of living that a woman of your pedigree would be used to. But nonetheless, I hear you when you say you used a key, so you didn't really like break and enter.
Absolutely
But
not.
you did pursue occupancy, correct?
Yeah.
We were there for
30 days, at
weeks.
least.
Yeah, weeks
At least.
before anybody showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when someone did show up, it was your son.
Yes, it was our son. And when he showed up, we were actually astonished
we were
and excited.
authentically
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
joyous to
that's
see
not
him.
accurate.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Once y'all got past your shock and awe, I'll let you give your side in a second. Go ahead. Then what happened?
He came in, he seemed very upset to see us. Our joy was authentic, mine was authentic to see him. And he informed us that we couldn't be there, he owned the home. This was all news
to you.
to us.
Okay, so once he tells you that he owns the home and he doesn't want y'all there, what do you do?
We wanted to rebuild our family.
It
We
was
wanted to
unimaginable.
repair whatever issues had become between us.
Okay.
And we didn't have anywhere to go. He immediately called the cops on us.
Immediately.
Okay, let's pause. Is that true, Mr. Harris? You called the police?
I did call the police.
Okay, is that this incident report I'm seeing right here?
Yes, ma'am, I have that evidence there.
Okay, tell me about this police call.
Well, the thing is originally to clarify the information that I feel is inaccurate. They were not there for 30 days. There was no way. I was only gone from my work trip for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And when I came back, just seeing that truck there, I was surprised why anyone was at my home. And then I saw, of course, the symbol of the company that I know so well, and just my heart sank. I walked in, of course, not with good emotion, validly so, because I had no idea who was supposed to be coming to my house while I was gone.
Right.
And that's why I reacted that way. Ultimately, I told them that I did not want them there.
But when you call the police, Mr. Harris, just so the court is clear, you're calling them on anybody that's in that house, or are you calling them because it's these two?
No, I'm calling them because it's these two.
Okay.
So when I called them, called the cops, I had already informed them that I do not want them there, that I informed them about
Well, I
all
see
the
it
information.
says trespass is the pending charge.
Yes.
They don't leave. How long do you end up staying, Mr. Harris and Ms. Sanders?
4 months?
4 months. The cops showed up, and what they said is that we had rights to be
Yeah,
there.
we were
Okay, that's
entitled.
what the law
Yes.
enforcement told you.
That's what
Yes.
the cops told us. We followed the letter of the law.
Okay, I am seeing some validity to that argument. I'm looking at the bottom of this police report. An eviction process has to take place. And you understand that, right, Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about the eviction process.
There were legal fees obviously involved in that eviction process, so I had to pay that $450 just for the eviction notice. The total legal fees are around $2,500, which I would at the very least like to get back if I don't get that $10,000.
Okay. I'm seeing the eviction notice, and ultimately the court ruled in favor of your son, you two, and you two were evicted, yes?
Yes, we were evicted.
Yes,
And the last month, we did everything we could to try to talk to our son to
Yes.
let us stay. We even offered on the very last day to give him rent. He wouldn't listen to us.
We were paying $100 a month for utilities.
Miss Sanders, you're a grown woman, right?
Yes.
What you think this young man's gonna do with $100?
Coming up on Equal Justice.
The court has to wonder, was that the real motive for you staying in this property, or was this about the fact that you didn't have anywhere else to go?
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Aaron Harris, who brought his parents, Lewis Harris III and Felicity Sanders, to court after they illegally squatted.
The reality is there is no fiscal responsibility that anybody in America can hardly take care of these days with $100, so stop that. I gotta ask you a question, Mr. Harris. You talked about wanting to repair the relationship with your son, and that's admirable.
Yeah.
But the court has to wonder, was that the real motive for you staying in this property, or was this about the fact that you didn't have anywhere else to go?
Your Honor, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it's both.
Please. Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty.
Because it was coming back home. It was coming
Yes.
back to where we thought we would have some support.
We were welcome.
We thought we were welcome.
Have you had any contact with your father, sir?
I have attempted to contact him. He has not he's not responded to
No.
us in, again, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we
where
don't
are
even know
you,
where he
Mr.
is.
Harris, with your grandfather?
I'm in a very good place with my grandfather, considering he's helped me more than my parents ever have. And he is retired happily in Arizona now, and I keep great contact with him. I actually had to contact him once I realized they were here.
Right.
And I got him on the phone. I got my dad on the phone with my grandfather, and he told him exactly how he felt about him, which was not the same way he felt 30 years ago, telling him he could come into the house whenever he wanted to.
Okay. This is my question to you. I have one more question, and then I'll be ready to rule. This question is for you, Mr. Harris, the plaintiff.
Yes.
You're asking for $10,000. Now, I'm trying to put this sum together here. $2,000 was your lawyer fees, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the other money would be the result of this unearned rent. Is that what that's how you're getting to $10,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Your Honor, there's no guarantee he was going to receive
There's
any
no
rent.
guarantee that he would have even rented the room. There's no guarantee that he would have rented it at that amount.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Aaron Harris, who brought his parents, Lewis Harris III and Felicity Sanders, to court after they illegally squatted.
Final question here for you, sir. You called the police immediately upon you recognizing them in the property. How long before this police report was filed did you get your eviction case?
Believe it was in fall that I got it. So
Okay, so
September.
about 2 months?
Yes.
I believe the court's heard enough here, and I'm ready to rule.
Well, Your Honor, there's no guarantee. We understand what I said. There's no guarantee he was going to receive
There's
any
no
rent.
guarantee that he would have even rented the room. There's no guarantee that he would have rented it at that amount every single day.
Okay. What do you say to that, Mr. Harris? What was your rental track record like before these two came into the property?
Practically impeccable. I mean, I kind of had people renting out the entire months before they came, and up and coming months, I've done my research. I know that the months in winter time, end of the year, people are booming.
Well, have you been able to rent the property since they've been evicted?
No.
Okay, so the room is vacant right now?
Yes, it's vacant.
Okay, it's vacant right now. Okay, you two, this family drama has really just put a heaviness on my heart. I want to say that before I give some ruling. That said, some things can't be helped. And what is also true, and I want you to know this, Mr. Harris, is while it's ideal to be able to reconcile with our family and our loved ones, if it's toxic, it's okay to have a boundary. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you need to know that. Now, as for you two, while I can appreciate falling on hard times and needing a place to go, nobody here is above that. You have to realize that things have changed. And due to your treatment of both your son and actually, sir, in your case, your own father, who I find it telling that he's also estranged from you. I don't think everybody's lying on you, Mr. Harris. If both your son and your father, I mean, that's a generational bookend that says you might be the problem, sir.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Therefore, the court cannot find that you squatting indefinitely on this property was lawful. Now, I do recognize that once you enter a property, you do start having some rights, and the law enforcement on this was correct. You must go through a proper eviction process. That took time, and you did so.
Yes.
As a result, I am going to, because the court sided with you, had y'all not been evicted, he would be getting dismissed today. But because another housing court heard all the evidence and they said that you were not lawful in your occupancy, you were indeed ripe for eviction, I'm going to split the difference here in court today. Mr. Harris, you are going to get your attorney fees back because that validates the veracity of your original legal claim that they were squatters. However, you've not proven to the court that you would have reasonably been able to rent out that room the entire time of their occupancy, so we're going to split that part in half. I'm going to give you half of that. You'll get a total in favor of the plaintiff for $5,000. That is my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The co-defendants are ordered to pay $5,000.
Law is the law. I guess I learned more than you could ever taught me.
Son, we were here for you for 18 years. We're here for you for the future.
Unimaginable.
Look what you're doing to your mom.
Unimaginable.
All right, you've had your day in court. Please follow me. Ladies first.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Steph Foley claimed she got a DUI because she didn't know the brownies she ate had marijuana in them. Vanessa Tyson says she placed signs near the brownies and told partygoers the dessert contained cannabis.
I see Steph Foley here as my plaintiff and Vanessa Tyson as the defendant. Ms. Foley, you are suing the defendant for $1,209, and let me not leave out 99 cents. What are we in court today for?
Yes, Your Honor, I am suing today for the total cost of legal fees I incurred after leaving a party that Vanessa threw. I accidentally ingested a brownie that was full of cannabis. I didn't know it was full of cannabis, and upon leaving the party, I received a DUI. So this is the total costs in which I'm suing for all of the legal fees.
Well, that is very, very unfortunate. What's the nature of y'all's relationship?
So we are not friends.
Were you friends before?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we were not. We have a mutual friend named Rachel. She was the one who brought me to the party. At the party, it was Rachel and Vanessa kind of having their own thing going on, communicating. I felt left out, so I went to get some wine and eat something. I hadn't really eaten much that day. I had a small glass of red wine. They were talking in like the living room area. I went into the dining area, got myself a brownie. I have a sweet tooth, so that's what I wanted. I had no idea that it had cannabis in it. There was no signs indicating that there were any drugs in the food.
Right.
So upon leaving the party, I was feeling a little weird, but I thought that was just because it was awkward and uncomfortable for me. And
so you did not have a good time at this party?
I did not have a good time at this party, not at all.
Now, how many glasses of wine did you have, ma'am?
Not even one.
Not even one. It was the cannabis that was giving you the adverse feelings.
Absolutely.
So describe to me how you felt when you were leaving.
I mostly felt awkward. I felt a little tired, but I thought that might be like energy drain, kind of a psychological more than physical feeling. I was just feeling woozy, really tired. I got the DUI from rolling through a stop sign, and the officer asked how I was doing, what was going on, and he assumed that I was under the influence because I couldn't really communicate in the way that I wanted to.
Right.
I was put in the back of his car and brought to jail. I spent the evening in jail until Rachel could bail me out.
So you ended up having to spend $1,209.99 on expenses associated with the DUI.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any evidence, ma'am, for me to see?
I do, yes.
Go ahead and give everything to my bailiff.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so you have had to take a DUI class, which is often the case. You had to have your license reissued, the tow fee for your car, because of course an officer is not going to let you get under back in front of the wheel after you are clearly intoxicated. And of course the ticket itself, totaling $1,209.99.
I'm also a teacher, so there's an added level of not wanting to be in that kind of trouble.
Yeah, it's not just the driving aspect. It's all of the tangential civic things. You're very fortunate that you're not going through, I don't know, a child custody dispute right now, because that would be used against you in your custody hearing. You better believe it. Before I get too far down this road, I do want to hear from you, Ms. Tyson. So this was you throwing a party for casual friends at your home?
Yes, Your Honor. I throw parties every Friday night. It's a known thing with all my friends. My friend Rachel was in town. We are friends from high school, and I was catching up with her after years of not seeing her, and she brought Steph along with her. I am not familiar with Steph. I don't really know her very well. But I put these brownies out every Friday. Everyone knows that they're laced with THC. There is a sign next to the pan, and everything on the table is set out in a way that there's alcohol, brownies that are laced, and then there's snacks that don't have any kind of alcohol or THC in them. Yes.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You're telling me this is the first time in your life that you have seen this sign?
This is the first time I've ever seen that sign in my entire life, yes.
What do you say to that, Ms. Tyson?
I say that's untrue.
So you think she's lying?
I think she's illiterate.
Ooh.
And later.
Tina deceived me. I paid her $1,000 to sing at my wedding, and all she did was lip sync.
The defendant is a fraud and a complete scam. So you woke up a brand new bride, and this is what you went to post?
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Steph Foley, who blames Vanessa Tyson for her DUI legal fees.
So it's your understanding then, Ms. Tyson, that this party is so frequent and customary in nature that everybody is already on notice or should know that the THC is in these particular brownies?
Yes, Your Honor, and there's always a reminder every time the party starts.
What kind of reminder, ma'am? Are you telling people?
I tell people when they come in the door. There's also a sign next to the pan. The party started at 7. I think Steph and Rachel showed up a little later, around 8 p.m.
So she didn't hear the announcement?
She didn't, but Rachel was aware.
Did Rachel tell you anything about this, ma'am?
She told me after the fact. After I was bailed out, she asked me.
Like physically, literally bailed out?
Literally bailed out. Literally brought money and bailed me out of jail.
Yeah, wow.
Where I was for the night. And afterwards, she asked me if I had eaten anything. I told her I ate a brownie. That's when I realized the brownie had cannabis in it, because she told me then. So after the fact, after all these things, I was told. Not
so you
during
didn't
the party.
even know, as you were being arrested, why you were intoxicated?
Yes.
Wow, that's wild, Ms. Tyson. Let me ask you, do you have any evidence for the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please give that to my bailiff, all of it in its entirety. It would be really great if you had a photo of these brownies with this alleged sign warning people of the THC consumption. Is that going to be in this folder, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, well, I was just shooting out, just putting it out there. Okay, let's see. I do see a sign. It says weed brownies laced with THC, and you're purporting that this was in front of the brownies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now I really was hoping that it was going to be a photo of the pan of brownies with the sign in front of it, so I could be totally clear that this notice was giving its intended impact. But I do see a sign, and you're purporting that this was the actual sign.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so your contention, Ms. Tyson, is that this was totally the plaintiff's fault. You did everything you could do to put everybody in the room on notice of the cannabis.
Yes, Your Honor. And if I would have known that that happened to her, I would have let her stay at my house. We would have driven her home. I never want to put my friends in an unsafe position. That was not the goal in the situation.
Did she look high to you?
Unfortunately, I didn't really socialize with her very much. I was catching up with Rachel. She kind of ran off doing her own thing, and I was socializing with people in another room. So I didn't even see her eat the brownie, nor did I see her leave the party. I had no idea.
Okay. And Ms. Foley, what do you say about this sign? Allegedly, there was this big sign by the brownies. Did you miss this?
I did. There was no sign that I saw or could read. I would assume that if you're putting drugs in food, you would use a bigger sign or a more vibrant sign, perhaps.
So you're telling me this is the first time in your life that you have seen this sign?
This is the first time I've ever seen that sign in my entire life, yes.
What do you say to that, Ms. Tyson?
I say that's untrue.
So you think she's lying?
I think she's illiterate.
Ooh. Well, Ms. Foley, that is quite a searing accusation.
I certainly can read. I don't think I would be able to text and send you those messages if I didn't know how to read and was illiterate. I don't think I'd be a teacher either and have a degree if I was illiterate. I would just assume that you would put out a sign that says drugs are in the food. Who knows what else was in the food?
Okay, ladies, I'm going to allow you, Ms. Tyson, to have a final word here, only because I am prepared to make my ruling shortly, and you are the defendant here with, last thoughts.
Yes, Your Honor. I want to say that if I ever knew that she was in a situation like that, I would have done everything I could have to help her.
Ms. Tyson, I don't believe that you did anything deliberate to undermine this young woman's safety or the safety of others. However, it's your house. It's your party. Ultimately, it's your guest list. So the argument that you want the court to consider in your favor is that you throw these parties every Friday. Everybody knows it's customary that my brownies are special brownies. But the issue is not everybody knows. Ms. Tyson, it is not reasonable to expect a first-time guest in your home, ma'am, to know the customs and patterns that you employ in your social setting. That's not reasonable. It is your responsibility to make sure that that is emphatically imparted. And while I can appreciate this little homemade sign of yours, it is not compelling enough for me to believe that this woman is lying about seeing it. You put her in a situation, ma'am, where she had unwilling consumption of a product that ultimately could have cost her her life. Let's be clear. We're here today talking about a DUI. People die from DUIs every day. I certainly cannot ask this woman to bear the cost of what was an involuntary consumption of cannabis at your house, on your property, at your consent by herself. Thus, the court will rule in favor of the plaintiff for the costs incurred for involuntarily consuming a cannabis brownie at the defendant's home. Rule in favor for the plaintiff, $1,209.99. That is my judgment.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,209.99.
Any final words for each other?
Tell people when you put drugs in food. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I heard you the first, second, and third time.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
My band and I pre-record all of our songs so that in an emergency, we are still able to perform and fulfill our contract and not ruin Mrs. Olson's day
No, that's
or
not
our
even in the
client's day.
contract.
This is Equal Justice. Lucy Olson claims the wedding singer she hired lip-synced, which she didn't agree to. Tina Graham says her voice was strained after the bride demanded an extra rehearsal. Ms. Graham is countersuing for $1,000.
I see Lucy Olson here as my plaintiff, suing for $1,000, and Tina Graham, Ms. Defendant, suing as well, countersuit $1,000. Ms. Olson, why are we in court today?
Tina deceived me. I paid her $1,000 to sing at my wedding, and all she did was lip sync. It ruined my wedding, my vision for the wedding. What happened was we met up at a cafe after I spoke to her on the phone, and we went over the contract for the service.
Yes.
And after that, I paid her $1,000.
Okay, ma'am, do you have any evidence to show the court contract that you mentioned? Anything? Okay, go ahead and give that to my bailiff.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The singer and her band will perform during the wedding reception, $1,000 paid. Why were you lip syncing?
Because last minute, Lucy Olson, she failed to mention that she texted me on the day of her wedding and asked me and my band to come and do an extra rehearsal. It is standard for me to come and do a sound check, but she asked me to do a fuller rehearsal in that room.
The day of the wedding?
The day of the wedding, and I have the text messages here.
Okay.
Where
Give those to my bailiff, ma'am. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd like to interject.
Ma'am, I'll get right with you in a second. Go ahead.
So you'll see the text messages here where she asks that, she makes that request, which for me is above and beyond something I would normally do.
Okay, let's read this. Would you be able to show up 2 hours before to rehearse for the wedding? Just want to make sure everything is sounding okay. You says, we'll be all good to go. I don't think this is needed. I typically don't do that in order to preserve my voice. You say, respectfully, I would like you to show up early to make sure everything is sounding okay. You'll be fine. You say, okay, copy that.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Do not hire her for a wedding or event. You'd be better off taking $1,000 and throwing it out the window. So you woke up a brand new bride, and this is what you went to post?
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Lucy Olson, who brought Tina Graham to court for lip syncing at her wedding.
Now I'm looking at some messages I see here. Hi, Tina. I saw a post on social from a former client of yours claiming that you defrauded them. This has given me serious reservations, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be going with you for my wedding singer. I wish you the best of luck. This was a separate client?
This is referring to my countersuit and a separate client I lost because of Lucy
so this
Olson.
is, I'm looking at, I guess, this social media post
Yes.
here. The defendant is a fraud and a complete scam. Do not hire her for a wedding or event. You'd be better off taking $1,000 and throwing it out the window. That's from your social media account, Ms. Olson, yes?
That is correct, Your Honor.
So you posted this when?
The day after.
So you woke up a brand new bride, and this is what you went to post?
I was very upset.
Judge, I'd like to add that I preserve my voice before I perform. So during the rehearsal, my vocal cords became strained and slightly damaged, and so I had my band pause on that because I knew I needed to rest my vocal cords if I was going to perform. And I tried to sing right before we were supposed to go on, and my voice wasn't there, so I had lost that control. If I were to sing, it would have further damaged my voice. So in emergencies like these, my band and I pre-record all of our songs so that in an emergency, we are still able to perform, fulfill our contract, and not ruin Mrs. Olson's day
No, that's
or our
not even in the
client's day.
contract.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Olson. Did you have a communication with this woman to say, hey, I'm disappointed, what happened, I want my money back?
I told her at the end of the night that I was not satisfied with what she did. She said that she performed a service and that she wasn't going to give me my money back.
Ms. Graham, did she ask for her money back?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so that she's making this up.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
So you believe that you fulfilled all of the terms and conditions of this performance?
Yes, because the contract...
Go ahead and give that to my bailiff, ma'am.
The contract states that I perform, and I did perform by dancing with my band, and my band was still all completely live.
The way in which you are defining performance is not satisfactory to the court. I do not believe that it is reasonable to presume that if one contracts a live vocal band for services at a wedding, that they would expect to have an audio recording. That's just not reasonable. So this is not an adequate execution of your part of the deal. Now, that said, You have satisfied the court with showing that you had lost wages of $1,000 directly associated with the fact that this young lady, the plaintiff, posted such an egregious social media post. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to order the plaintiff to have her ruling of $1,000 granted. You're going to get your money back. But neither one of you is going to see a dime because, ma'am, I'm also ruling in favor of the countersuit for the defendant because you did cost her $1,000. I think the two of you owe each other, and the two of you really needed much more communication to avoid this going forward. So both claims are granted. That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled. Both parties have been awarded $1,000.
Any final thoughts for each other?
Maybe next time you'll auto-tune instead of lip sync.
Maybe if you spent more time with your husband on your wedding day rather than paying attention to my lip syncing, we wouldn't be here right now.
Okay. You had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.